It's 4 o'clock on a Friday. Your friends are already waiting for you at the local restaurant, and the pilau is hot. The local chef at this particular restaurant doesn't go easy on the spices. And unfortunately, a new demonstration movement has kicked off, and your editor has asked for 500 words before you sign off. Now, I don't want to make light of the challenging and complex world that we're living in, the pressures that we're facing, but I think this is the real reality that many of us face, is that we're trying to do meaningful work, facing various pressures from organizations, from deadlines, from internal organizational pressure, and yet we still have a social life. We still have other things that we want to do. And making certain claims about conflicts or demonstrations takes time. If we want to make these quantitative claims about, are demonstrations rising? Are they decreasing? Was the latest movement comparable to that in Madagascar? Was it potentially a surge that we haven't seen before? Was it unprecedented? These sort of things can often take us reaching out to various experts, but how do we really rely even on those expert claims? And these are the sort of tools that I want to present today, using and drawing on the ACLED tools that we have publicly available for journalists. So what is ACLED? ACLED, as the name suggests, is the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Organization. The organization gathers reports from researchers all over the world, stringers all over the world, using hundreds of local languages to gather reports and then code these into the world's largest database on political violence and demonstrations, and using discrete events. So anytime an event varies based on the date, the type or form of disorder, the actors that have been involved, the specific location where it took place, these are all coded into a specific event and sort of disaggregated into the database in that way, allowing users to filter based on those various factors. We do this through, as I said, networks of researchers based around the globe, working and prioritizing, working with local journalists like yourself, monitoring open source media, triangulating with our local stringer reports. And I think the reason this is important is you are facing these various pressures. As I mentioned, you have a social life, but you also want to provide this meaningful content. So the tools that I want to showcase today, first, this one on the bottom is the ACLED Explorer tool. And this one really showcases the geo-referenced data country by country that's available online. You can look at this based on the number of events, so looking at the discrete number of perhaps demonstrations. You can look at the specific number of battles that took place in these various places. Second, here at the top, you can also switch this to look at the number of fatalities that occurred in those locations. The third way you can explore this tool is looking at the population exposure to these various forms of disorder. This integrates the ACLED data with a population estimate, looking at the number of civilians that were exposed to disorder in the various places that it occurs. This is further broken down into the largest administrative region of the country to be able to see how many events took place in these different administrative areas, and then further allowing the user to adjust the time period that you want to look at, whether that's the past week, the past month, or the past year. The second tool that we make publicly available is the Trends tool. And this one relies on the same ACLED data. You can make use of the same filters that I mentioned in the first case, but I think the real benefit here is being able to make those historical trends. Did the demonstration movement, was that sort of a rise in disorder over time, or was it a surge? How does it compare to the average over the past year? These are the sort of ways that we can make use of the ACLED Trends tool. In addition, the tool relies on a model for looking at the future months that we might expect. This doesn't just look at the ACLED data, but it also relies on a number of other factors that we've found might affect future trends. For example, in certain areas of the continent, in certain areas of the world, during heavy rainfall, armed groups have limited mobility and are not able to carry out violence in certain areas. So those sort of factors all feed into the predictive model that's available through trends. So this kind of allows journalists to quickly identify patterns kind of through a site check with the map, but also using these various graphs that are available. So not only do we make the tools free to access for journalists, but ACLED analysts such as myself and many others, I'm joined here by my colleague Mohammed, are able to do proactive analysis pieces that are, again, published on the website. These do deep dives into particular parts of the world. They look at particular actors that are carrying out violence. For example, we have an ongoing series on the Islamic State operations in Africa. So these have been published. We have ongoing work related to it. And for journalists, we provide timely reactive analysis as well. We're often responding to various events that just took place, helping analysts use our data, but then also providing comment on how this affects future trends or what might have led to a particular event. What does the past data show us about this particular demonstration movement that has just kicked off in a new area? So with all of this, we're trying to help journalists move quickly from kind of a specific event and provide a data-driven analysis. As many newsrooms do face layoffs, they face growing pressure. You might not have a data analyst on your team, but we want to help provide that. We understand that, especially over the past year, many newsrooms have faced cuts. There's been staff layoffs, and ACLED's working, especially through the corporate clients that we have that are paying for our data, to then pass that funding along to help support local journalists, local stringers, and partners that are on the ground. So maybe you are a data analyst, you don't want to use the tools, maybe you have a particular idea in mind about how you want to create a subset of the data. Again, this all can be done on the website using our data export tool. Those filters that I was talking about, whether you want to filter to a specific date range, you want to look at a particular actor and how they've been involved either across the continent or across the globe. You can filter further by region or country. There's a number of different ways that you can manipulate the data. We also have a narrative column that allows you to look for specific keywords that might have happened in the course of a particular event of conflict or a demonstration. You want to look specifically at drone use, perhaps. So this tool allows you to build your own data sets and download that for your own investigation. So we try to make access as timely and quickly as possible for journalists. If you are registering with your newsroom domain name, it's a relatively quick process. Just scan the QR code. You can access the website just by registering for a MyACLED account. If you are an independent journalist, you don't have a newsroom domain, you can just send us an email to our press inbox, and we'll work together with you as quickly as possible. We try to have staff 24/7 to respond to journalists as quickly as we can, but we can also grant manual access if you don't have that newsroom domain. So really appreciate you taking the time to listen. These are some of the tools that we have available. And if you would like to learn more, please do talk to myself or Mohammed during the tea break. Thank you.